What's going on, YouTube? This your boy Jamar84 here once again. First, I want to show you guys some love and appreciation for this series. I'm slowly starting to see it build more and more viewership as the time goes on. You guys are constantly requesting it, so it makes me feel really, really good. And I'm so glad that you guys are enjoying the series so far. Shout out to all the creators of this series. We're gonna pick up where we left off last time. If y'all remember, I think the last story we looked at was that crazy hitchhiker, but a lot of y'all, I was like promoting the crazy Santa story, so that was great. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. We are back, and we also have wine. So as we watch these people do stupid things, we're gonna be getting lit. Oh, amen. All right. Oh, child, let's go ahead and watch. Let me prepare myself because sometimes these things be taking me to a place. Oh, child. All right. So this is where the last one ended. I still had the tab open.
The great and
Oh, child, we got to get through the goddamn ads. Oh, we back, child. Fucking ads. That's the problem with dealing with YouTube, child. True Craigslist horror story. Now, how many times have we gone through this shit? I don't know how many more times we got to go through Craigslist stories for y'all to stop shopping on goddamn Craigslist.
I'm sharing the
What the hell?
Little Red Riding Hood. Let's
Girl!
start this.
You know what? I'm leaving all this in. I'm not about to edit none of this shit out because I'm pissed that these goddamn ads keep playing on my shit. Fuck your masterclass. Damn. Oh, child is so ratchet over here on the Jamardi 4 channel. I swear we finally get into the story, y'all. YouTube, is there anything else you need me to do? Anything? Are you sure? Shit.
life experience of mine with the internet as a public service announcement to be careful on Craigslist or any similar websites. I happened to be browsing the for sale section of Craigslist trying to find a used laptop. One listing really got my attention, some Dell touchscreen laptop for $250. It looked like it was in good shape with very few minor cosmetic imperfections. I texted the owner, who introduced himself as Dave, and told me I could come pick it up that same night. He offered to meet halfway somewhere so that I wouldn't have to drive all the way out to his place. I live in the countryside, so he lived a solid 10 miles away, which would equate to a 20 to 25 minute drive. Since there aren't many notable places near either of us, we agreed to meet at a 7-Eleven parking lot. I got there at the agreed upon time, which was 10 p.m. sharp. I waited around for a few minutes, then I decided I was going to give him a call. But just as I took my phone out of my pocket to call him, his name came up on my phone. He was calling me. I picked up, skipping the hello, and just said, "Dave, what's going on?" There was a loud background noise on his end, maybe from his driving. There was an initial moment of silence before he started talking.
See, this is already suspicious because first of all, oh, hold on, sorry, I'm hit the microphone. Uh, you're in the countryside. Why don't y'all be like? This the part of be like when y'all be doing these online things, meeting up with people. Y'all don't be having no kind of common sense of protecting yourself. Like y'all don't be bringing no weapons. Y'all don't be bringing no mace. Y'all don't be telling nobody where y'all at. Y'all be meeting at nighttime at these dark places that barely have light. Not damn witness. Like, come on. It's like this is a setup. You're meeting a complete stranger off of Craigslist. What do you think is gonna happen?
He said he wouldn't be able to make it all the way to 7-Eleven because his car was making weird noises and he didn't want to go too far from home. So he pulled over to the side of the road off some side street. But when
No.
we say side streets out here, we don't mean side streets surrounded by buildings or houses. Side streets out here usually mean roads with no streetlights and surrounded by four.
You know what? No. You talking about your car making strange noises, and you can't go too far from your house. Well, when you get your car fixed and everything is back in working order, and you can meet us at the agreed time in the middle of the daytime, then hit me up. I'll still have the money then, and then that's just how we're gonna handle that. Because let me tell you what's not gonna happen. If you have never been to the country, and I feel like I've said this so many times, their main roads at night are already pitch black. There is only moonlight. Okay, so not only um do you have to have no light on the main road, on the side roads, bitch. Hell no. I got lost one time. It was gonna be a really quick story time. I was leaving from my aunt's place where my mom lives or used to live, and I got lost. And it was at nighttime, and I was driving up some crazy street. And when I tell you, I tried to get out to kind of tell my mom where I was. It looked like the scene of a scary fucking movie. I was so fucking scared, y'all. That I do not recommend this at all.
Forest or farms. He gave some bizarre description of where he was. There was no way I'd be able to find it ordinarily, so I had him send me his location through his phone. He really was just parked on the side of some side road somewhere. I really didn't know if I was comfortable going at this point.
Don't be stupid.
Way too suspicious.
Don't be
I've
stupid.
heard all about those Craigslist horror stories before.
Okay, no, okay, now see, listen, you broke the fourth wall because you know this isn't like your first time. This isn't the first time you've heard of anything crazy like this. So if you have heard Craigslist horror stories before, what the hell are you doing out here? First of all, why are you here with no weapon? Like, girl,
And this seemed like the cliche build-up to one.
it is
Against my better judgment, I started driving over to Dave's location anyway.
stupid.
About 5 minutes of driving later on some completely pitch-black road, I eventually saw the reflection of someone's taillights parked on the side of the road.
Stupid.
So it had to be him. I pulled up behind the car in the grass next to a large cornfield but kept the car running. I turned my headlights off for a second, and it literally became blackness in every possible direction. So I turned the headlights back on. Weird though, I didn't see any light from his car, not even the light from a phone. I called him again. He picked up on the first ring and said he had to run into the crops to take a quick piss, and to just get into his car so that when he gets back he could quickly show me his laptop.
What? What? That don't even make sense. I mean, okay, yeah, you ran to the crops for a quick pit. Why would you go? That's not the part. Why would I have to get in your car so you can show me the laptop? Why don't I just wait in my car until you get out so I can see you? Why would I have to get in your car? No, sir, tell me you're not going to be stupid. Please, please tell me you're not going to be stupid.
He hung up before I could even get my response in.
I would leave. I would be out. I'm gone.
This was too weird for me.
I'm
I
gone.
really didn't know what to do.
Leave.
I guess I figured I'd step out of the car and just wait behind the door for this Dave person to come out. He said he went into the crops, so I kept my eyes on the right side of the road by the crops. What a strange place to have any kind of exchange other than a drug deal. It didn't seem right at all. I stood right by my car door for the longest time, easily 2 or 3 minutes. There was no way he was peeing for that long. It was starting to seem like it was time to go. I'd give him another 30 seconds, I figured.
Just now?
In the final moments of my waning patience standing there, I thought I heard brushing around coming from the crops. I kept doing double takes from one side of the crops to the other. "Dave?" I yelled. The brushing sounds in the crops faded away, but a crackling leaf or two from behind my car made me turn to see someone sneaking up on me from behind my car. Exactly what I feared.
See, you stupid. See now, if you had your weapon, you had your mace. Bitch. If you had if you had a gun, you'd be holding that thing right at your hip. Pow. Back up. Back the fuck up. What you doing wrestling with this knife? Back the fuck up. That's what you should have been had you been prepared. But then again, you should have been out here no way. But here you are.
Would happen, but that didn't make it any less horrific as I jumped into my car and floored it before the door was even fully shut.
Wait, how you get in the car that
I
fast?
literally loved myself for thinking to leave the car running. If I had turned it off, I may not have escaped in time. Deep down, I kind of thought the situation was far too suspicious to be real. But really, do any of us ever expect things like this to happen? These things are
Girl,
only supposed to happen in horror movies. You're supposed to experience them for yourself.
where do you think they
Guess
get
it
the
just remains
inspiration
a story
from?
to tell friends and family for years.
Child, he had the nerve to be like, "Oh, I've heard this in movies and didn't think it would actually happen." Like, why wouldn't it happen? Where do you think these horror movies get their inspiration from? You think? I mean, some of them are made up, sure, but some of them are based off of fiction, actual stuff. So I don't know why you thought that was something that's so outrageous, especially since you've seen it. Like, girl. Anyway, I can't harp on stupidity. Next story, child. Night park, girl.
When I was about 11, some friends and I were having a slumber party, and we all snuck out of the house in the middle of the night and went to a park about a half a block away. We had been there at least an hour or so when I thought I saw a large figure about 100 feet away, lurking in the shadows under some trees.
The hell?
We all turned to look and stare at the shadow's direction for about 5 minutes, trying to make it out. Right about when we decided we were seeing things, the figure started running at top speed towards us.
Bitch.
We jumped up and ran back to the house as fast as we could go.
Wait. did you did y'all see that man in the back Naruto run sprint past them holes? If y'all missed it, go back. Go back. Watch that man Naruto sprint.
And locked the door. We could hear someone moving around the outside of the house.
Well, this escalated quickly.
And then someone began tapping on the windows. We couldn't wake anyone up, since we would have to admit that we had snuck out.
Bitch! Fuck that. Girl. Do you think, if my life is in danger, do you think the worst thing that's gonna happen to me is that I get in trouble for sneaking out? I don't give a damn. Protect me, bitch. My life is in danger. Hell, I would rather face the wrath of my parents than the wrath of some psychomaniac of who knows what. Child, the logic of the children.
We spent the night huddled together in the middle of the living room. None of us slept that night.
Oh, that was it? Child, I guess. Online dating? Woo, child. I have horror stories of my own, honey. We want to talk about online dating horror stories, child. I don't need YouTube to give you that. We could just sit here, turn this camera on my ass, and got plenty of content, child.
At the time of this story, I had already met a total of 3 people on Match.com. It didn't really work out with
Bitch, not the Fetsons. Child.
2 of them, and the third one I dated for 4 months. After my breakup, I wanted to take a break from commitment and just find something more casual. And so I matched with a girl named Kylie, who I got along with decently well on the app. She seemed down to just come over to my apartment and hang out for the night. She showed up about half an hour later and
Hang out.
seemed really quiet in person. We hung out in my room in the
First of all, what was her name? I forgot her name already. Why her face sunken in like this? Why her face why you look stoic like this? Like, child, okay.
upstairs of my apartment for most of the night. We just talked for a while watching TV in the background. There were a bunch of awkward silences, but I did my best to fill them with new conversations. In the back of my mind the whole time I was thinking, are we gonna kiss? Does she expect me to move in for the kiss? How do I go about it? But hours of talking later, I started to realize there was something wrong with this girl. She became increasingly more emotionless. She was staring off across the room as she'd talk slowly, talking about increasingly deep and dark things. Then she said something surprising. She thanked me for allowing her to sleep over. Apparently when I said she could come hang out for the night,
Yo, that is the face of when the trade doesn't realize somebody invites themselves over and you had no intention on them staying as long as they are, and they said thank you for letting me spend the night. Like, bitch, this is the face. Like, what the hell? What you mean you spending the night? Ain't nobody said nothing about spending the night, bitch. And after you already been talking all crazy and shit, oh no, ma'am, you won't be sleeping over here, and then we having this awkward ass interaction. Like, girl, I know
she
this
meant to
face.
literally stay the night. She got off the bed and asked what blankets she could use for the floor. I grabbed a couple blankets and pillows and made a sort of bed for her on the floor. She thanked me and then laid down on her side facing away from me.
Why do I feel like in the middle of the night, she gonna get up off that pallet and be seen hovering over him like with a knife or something? That's where I feel like this is going.
I guessed she was ready to go to sleep. I turned off the TV and closed my eyes. We didn't say a single word to each other, and I have to admit it was very awkward. I fell asleep probably half an hour after shutting the TV, but I awoke randomly in the middle of the night. I sat up and looked down at the floor and was able to see that Kylie didn't appear to be laying on the floor anymore. I flipped on the lamp and looked around the room. She wasn't anywhere, actually. But just then, I heard a voice downstairs. It sounded like it could be Kylie. All the walls in my apartment are paper thin, so noise travels quite easily throughout it. I quietly left my room and stood at the foot of the top of the stairs, listening for what Kylie could be saying. All the lights upstairs were off, but she was talking in a low voice. I just couldn't tell for sure what exactly she was saying.
What?
I figured she was on the phone with someone, but still, I went downstairs to check. I stepped into the dark kitchen, and there she was. But she wasn't on the phone. She was just creepily sitting in one of the chairs facing the wall. She seemed to still be...
What the fuck, bitch? Sis, you have to exit stage left from my house. You can't be up here talking to yourself in the corner, child. I could call you a Uber. We can get you a megabus ticket, child, but you ain't staying the rest of the night, child. I'm sorry.
be muttering to herself. I was frozen. All I could say was, Kylie?
Oh,
She turned her head to me slowly, looked at me for a few seconds, then turned back to face the wall.
Ooh.
I went upstairs quickly to my room and crawled into my bed to call my dad. I had to call at least 3 times before he finally picked up, obviously sounding concerned. I told him in a quiet panic that some random girl from online was staying the night, and now she was sitting in my kitchen muttering to herself like a crazy person. He sounded confused as hell, but told me to call 911 if she seemed like she was having some kind of episode to safely get her out of there. Then I looked up and noticed a figure standing by my bed.
Hell nah. Hell nah. There's no way in hell. There's no... Bitch, you sitting here looking at me sideways and crooked? I don't want to encourage violence. But bitch, let me tell you this. You step across that there threshold of that doorway, and it's gonna be me and you. Because right now you are already talking to yourself in the corner. Look, I didn't disturb your conversation. I let you complete. Nah, see, ain't nobody got time for it, child.
Bedroom door in the dark. It was Kylie. All I saw was the outline of her skinny body. She stood there for maybe 10 seconds. All I heard was my dad on the other end of the phone saying hello over and over. The next thing I saw was the silhouette of Kylie at my door suddenly charge at me in my bed as she began to scream.
Bitch. I would have to kill her. I would have to kill her. You can't charge at me screaming, no, bitch, you're crazy, and what do you want me to do? What other option do I have? Honestly, what would y'all do? I want y'all to leave. You know what? I should start doing that. I should really start doing that to add more interaction to these videos. In this moment right here, I want somebody to comment and reference this story because we're going to try to ask, like, what would y'all do in these moments in the comments? Because then we could, this is how we can talk about it. If you were him in this moment, what would you do? What would be the game plan? So let's see what his is.
She lunged at me and put her hands around my throat, trying to choke me. However, I was able to quickly overpower her and hold her down against the bed. I screamed at my dad to call the cops. I was able to drag the insane girl downstairs by the time the cops came. The cops took her away to fill out a few documents. I think it's safe to say that you should always meet people from websites and apps in a safe, public place first.
Message. You don't know what people's intents are, especially on crazy apps, child. Meet in a public place. And you know what? Here's a part B. When you meet in the public place, even when you leave, make sure you're not being followed. Amen. I'm just saying. Child. You better than me, child. But anyways, let me hold on, wait. Before we get to the creepy cop story, let me refill my glass. I'll be right back. Oh, child. Okay. We back. I refill my glass. Girl. I tell you, the things that people be doing in this shit be stressing me out, child.
In all my years of being a police officer in Floyd County, Georgia, I had only experienced 2 horrifying situations.
Georgia?
I'll share with you the worst of the 2. It was a slow night, and I was patrolling the dirt roads in my cruiser. At this particular spot, there were tiny woods on both sides of the road. And then it all started. I spotted somebody jumping into the woods on the left. I only saw half of them though. They were gone so quickly. I pulled up closer and shined the spotlight into the woods. I didn't see them. Unfortunately, it was kind of my job to check on things like this, so I hesitantly stepped out from the car and began searching. In a moment like this, I was so ready to pull my gun, as I was actually terrified. And then, the cliched snap of a branch from behind a tree almost made me want to run back to the car, but I instead did my job and called for them to come out. Someone wearing a mask stepped out from the tree.
Bitch, no ma'am. But Michael Myers coming out the goddamn woods. Well, I mean, I guess, you know what? Because he's a police officer, he has somewhat of a different set of rules. Because if I hear a twig snap and somebody with a mask comes out and I already have my hand on the gun, I've already pulled the trigger by this time. So he's probably trained not to do that. So I can't really say that he should do these things because I feel like he would lose his job and get arrested. So we gon' be a little bit more lenient and see where he goes.
I told them to raise their arms, take off their mask, and come to me slowly. They raised their hands, but they didn't remove the mask. I tried to demonstrate my authority by yelling this time, ordering them to take it off. They looked as if they were about to take it off, when suddenly, he or she looked to their left, and then back at me. I heard footsteps coming from my right. I drew my gun. I yelled as loud as I could for everybody to come out with their hands up. You may be thinking, why? Well, if you were in this position, in this setting, you would have been shitting yourself just like I was. Another person wearing a mask walked over. This one holding an axe. I had my gun locked on him. But suddenly, footsteps started coming from all directions. I looked around, and I was surrounded. There were at least...
Oh, hell. You know what? I apologize. I must have interrupted y'all's little gathering, child. I'm gonna just hit the old dusty trail. Cause bitch, that little gun, unless you got a motherfucking automatic, just go, then you outnumbered, child.
At least 10 strangers wearing masks, surrounding me almost in a circle, with only an opening behind me. Half of them were armed with axes and the like.
Oh.
I stood there, gun raised, but not even aimed at anything at this point. I felt like I was going to throw up. One of them, I'm not sure which, finally broke the silence, telling me in a muffled, deep voice, "Go away."
You know what? I will do just that. Because how often do people like this, these killers or crazy people, how often do they really give you a chance to leave? Think about that. How often do they really give you a chance to actually leave the situation? Hardly ever. So, you know what? You are correct, sir. I am so sorry that I disturbed y'all. Y'all have a good night. Be safe and leave.
My heart dropped as he said this, in a way that I knew I was going to live. I turned and ran for the car, driving down the road half a mile, all while calling for backup. As you would guess, the whole group was gone from the woods when a search squad arrived. I have a theory on this, however. I believe that what I witnessed was some kind of fucked up secret society that was planning on trapping an innocent passerby, and I think that whoever jumped into the woods as I was passing recognized my car as a police car and tried to hide. Had I not been a police officer, I believe they would have stopped me, led me to the woods, and done whatever this group does for its sick kicks.
I guess it's a good thing I didn't pull the trigger, right? Because if I pulled one, they probably would have all sworn my ass. Scary Skype call. Girl.
It's 5 a.m. I'm about to pass out and my eyes are gradually getting heavier, but the sight of my girlfriend's face on Skype keeps me fighting to stay awake. We have been Skyping every night for the past 3 months. Long distance is a bitch, but I love her and I can't wait to hold her in my arms again.
Oh,
My
cute.
eyes collapse for a mere moment. Babe, you're tired, get some sleep. I spring up. No, it's all good. I'm going to go make some coffee. I'll be right back. I left my screen illuminating in the dark room. I make my way down the stairs into my kitchen, where the kettle naturally belongs. I make my coffee and head back to the computer. I was greeted by the warm smile that I grew fond of. Welcome back, you macho man. My
Not
pet
macho
name.
man, child.
Hey, sexy, I replied. We always have this moment where we stare blankly at each other, like any normal couple would do. It was another sleepless, perfect night. That is, until my phone went off. As I make my way to reach my phone, I thought to myself, I wonder who it could be calling me at this hour. Could it be just my friend calling, wanting to chat? Do they need a place to crash?
Not at 5 a.m. They're not calling the chat.
Or could it just be a wrong number? I looked at my phone. I froze.
It's your girlfriend, isn't it? It's the girlfriend.
It was my girlfriend. I quickly shifted my eyes back to the computer monitor to see if she was playing a trick on me. But she just sat there, hands folded on her desk with that familiar grin. Maybe she butt-dialed me or something, I thought. I answered. I heard an eerily, all too familiar voice on the other side. Hey babe, I'm sorry. I know it's really late. I just got home from Morgan's party. Are you awake? My body became solid with fear. My eyes shifted upward to my horror to see my girlfriend staring back at me.
Ooh.
Who are you? I yelped in terror. What do you mean, sweetie? Her eyes became black
Ooh.
as her voice became deeper. It's me. I placed my phone to my ear again. I tried to yell out to her, don't go in your room. But the fear held my tongue with a tight grip. Babe, don't. I whimpered. What did you say, babe? Sorry, I'm unlocking my door and I couldn't hear you. I sit in horror as the creature that took the form of my girlfriend sheds this bone-chilling, menacing grin
Oh my.
and turns its head to one side. I hear her open the door. Both calls end abruptly.
Well, damn. Yo, what? How you not gonna warn? I mean, I guess you fucking terrified that what the hell going on, but you couldn't say nothing? Girl. Well, now you single. Yeah. That's horrible. That's God bless, child. I think we'll do okay. I think because again, I always say this because I've had such a long time between these. I'm going to record two of these at once. So I'm gonna do this is gonna be the last one of this video, and then I'll record another one right afterwards and put it out maybe this weekend. Because this should go up Wednesday morning at some time, and then I'll put the next one out maybe Saturday. I think that'll be good. That'll give y'all time to watch this one and then watch the next one. Let's do that.
First, a little background information. I worked the night shift at a local gas station when I was 19. I was the only employee in the store, as usual. On Christmas Eve, I had to work the overnight, 10 p.m. into 6 a.m. into Christmas Day. It was a normal night, no customers, and my cleaning was almost finished. I had just got done eating and decided to go out for a smoke when I hear someone walking towards the store in the distance. Now, this was nothing out of the ordinary until the person gets to the pumps and I can actually see them.
What the hell?
It was a male, about 5'9" and somewhat thin. He was wearing a dark hoodie, jeans, and was carrying a gift bag. As he got closer, though, I noticed that he was bleeding from his forehead.
Sir, we're closed. Do you need to seek medical attention? Shit. Do you know you're bleeding?
As he approached me, I asked if he was okay and if he needed any help. I noticed that the bag was empty, which should have been my first red flag. The guy looked me in the eyes, looking dead inside, and said, "You want to help? Then don't call the fucking cops."
I'm dead.
I agreed and told him that there was a first aid kit inside and that I'd be happy to help him with his wound.
Why would I call the cops, sir? What you got going on that I need to call the cops for?
Crazy, I know, but I was just trying to be nice to him since he was someone who could be a threat to me. We went inside the store and I got the first aid kit. As I pulled out the stuff for him to clean himself up with, he said he needed to use the restroom and once again told me not to call the cops. I told myself that if he wasn't out of the bathroom within a reasonable amount of time, I was going to call the police. He didn't come out, so I went outside and called. The dispatcher told me to stay out of the store and find somewhere safe to be until the officers arrived. I stood at the side of the store where he wouldn't be able to see me, but I could see if he came out of the bathroom.
Child.
He never came out. The police arrived and asked where he was. I pointed and they went in. Just as they got to the door, he opened it and tried to lunge at one of the officers. They tackled him, threw a knife that he was holding, and promptly arrested him. As they were walking him out of the store, he told me that I was lucky that the police got there when they did, and that he'd see me again soon. I was a little shook by that. One of the officers came to take my statement after the other took the guy away. I told the officer what had all happened, and then I asked something I really wish I didn't know the answer to. What was he doing in the bathroom? The officer told me that it was a good thing that I called when I did, because the guy had shot up some heroin in the bathroom, then was going to come out with a knife, stab me, and run with what money was in the register. That's what the bag was for. This guy had a lot of problems and a lot of anger inside of him. The reason he was so angry was also the reason his head was bleeding. He owed his dealer money and got beat because of it. His solution to the problem was robbing the store. The officer told me if I didn't call when I did, I'd either be critically wounded or dead because he wasn't going to allow me to stand between him and that money. I hope I never see that crazy drug addict who wanted to kill me to free himself of debt again.
Oh. Child. See, this is good because you should always follow your instinct of knowing when shit ain't right So, ooh, Lord Jesus. Y'all protect yourselves. You know, if you at someplace by yourself at night, always carry something to protect yourself. Girl, I can't emphasize that enough, child. But anyways, that was it for this video. Ooh, Lord, I hope this was good. I hope you guys enjoyed it the way you enjoyed the previous videos. But Lord, mm. Okay, so make sure you guys share this video, put it on your Facebooks, your Instagrams, your Twitters. If you do share it, please tag me so I can see it and favorite it and show you love and appreciation for it. Again, if this is the first time that you're watching me, I hope you guys enjoyed. You like, comment, subscribe. Again, tell me what you would do in each of these scenarios so we can engage, and I'll be replying to you guys in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.